Hi there, it's been one whole week since your last recap, and Sally and I haven't moved. So here's your recap for episode 18, To Kill a Mockingbird. The trial of Clickwhistle Birdperson commences. The Jews enter the court chamber where Clickwhistle stands alone on the left and Dean Barlow Vidicon and his lawyers on the right. The group realized quickly that the courtroom was a magical dead zone, as all the message/conjure flame attempts immediately failed, and Philip's divine power dimmed significantly. Barlow spoke first, explaining that since he holds a high station within the city, this sort of thing is commonplace for him. He does surprisingly move to drop the attempted murder charge, since Clickwhistle's threat was said in anger and had no real merit. He further denied any involvement in the Core Hall attack and rested his speech. Next to speak was Clickwhistle, who did not deny the charges. She was literally caught red-handed after all. And she maintained that she was only after the information. The court pointed out that her way of doing it showed rather ill intent, regardless of the harmless nature of the inquiry. Furthermore, the breaking and entering of one's home was not to be justified, nor the fact that she was so blatant about slandering a well-respected man. The court then asked for anyone to speak for either party, and the Jews jumped at the chance. None denied the rash and foolish nature of her actions, but each had more to say of the character of why they were done. After a short conference, the court reconvened with a verdict: guilty on all counts, with a sentence of 3 months and 4 weeks in Banderock prison, which, in case you don't know, 1 month is significantly longer than an Earth month. Bail will be posted at 5,000 gold pieces. Clickwhistle was then taken down to the barred wagon that was hooked up to a prison caravan. The group desperately tried to formulate a plan, as Clickwhistle would be transported that afternoon, so they were running out of time. Since breaking Clickwhistle out was basically impossible, they decided to try and gather the bail money. They decided to divide and conquer to go talk to their friends, looking to beg, barter, or work for the money. Liam would go to Nerith, Nameless to Moral, set Lolly to the Sultan, and Philip to check in with Lorethka of the Thorgol Mining Company. Upon reaching Nerith's, Liam found that he was working on a new casing for lodestones.
How much is the bail?
5,000 gold pieces. The current plan is if all 4 of us are successful at borrowing money, and we can each somehow round up 1,250. Yeah.
And your friends asked you to ask me after having me make 2 gifts for you and your group, essentially free of charge.
Yikes.
I forgot about that.
All I can say is yikes.
Striking a deal with Moral was a tricky affair. Nameless asked them for full 5,000 gold, a seemingly easy sum for someone as rich and powerful as Moral. However, this loan would come with a hefty price. Nameless's only stipulations were that no one she cares for will be harmed and no murder. But Moral didn't want something as uninspired as murder. They wanted something more precious. Pulling with one long finger on the thread that binds Panther and Nameless, Moral made their bargain. The secret to achieve this bond in exchange for the gold.
I can't do that. I don't know who they are. And I don't want to be responsible for anything bad to happen to them. Not that I think you'll do something bad, it's just, why do you want to have them?
That's not the deal.
Then there is no deal.
Next, Philip went to the Thorgol Mining Company. Lorethka, happy to see him, but sad to hear about Clickwhistle's misfortunes, offers only advice. Do some jobs and you'll get the money. In 5 weeks. Though slow and steady may work for the Thorgols, Philip needed the money fast. Turning his attention to other matters, he asked about any dwarven families in Korhal. Lorethka told him about the alliances between the Bovasians and the Rakians, and also that the Arkvol should have an outpost there, as well as a Bithral. The Sultan's den was ever the cesspool it usually is, but Sentinelli knows how to talk to the ever-present bodyguard, and possibly the one sober person in the entire place, Blue. Once in the Sultan's back room, Setlali tried flattery to ask if there were any jobs that could get the group the gold they needed. The Sultan tells her that there are no 5,000 gold jobs for her group. He hinted at the possibility of a super secret specialty job that could get her close, but refused to tell her more than that. The dudes would need to prove themselves a bit more if they wanted that job. Even the tears of a snake lady could not convince the pair to reveal the details. Failing, as all the others did to get the money, Setlali is shown out. The dudes reconvene at the community job board, unfortunately finding no high-ticket jobs there either. After some discussions of possible intercontinental deliveries or asking Yvonne, Setlali noticed Daphne walking towards the caravan with a contingency of guards. Name was transformed into a finch in order to follow clandestinely. Meanwhile, Clickwhistle's caravan was set to begin the long transport to Vanderrock prison. Daphne rode up and broke Clickwhistle's caravan car away from the others, stating that she was high priority.
I run up to the bars in the front of the like, Daphne, what the fuck? Daphne.
Oh my god, you're in a cell?
Yeah.
I thought she was dragging you by your feet.
No.
When she tried to ask questions, Daphne's figure answered with the hushed voice of Barlow Vitagon.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Barlow, what the fuck? He asked her to keep quiet, to which Clickwhistle nervously chirped her agreement. They continued until they were well out of the city, hidden within a thicket of trees. Stupidly, Name was perched on her wagon the entire time. Once there, Barlow began to question Clickwhistle about what she knew of Korhal, the Crimson Dawn, and in the end offered her a deal. He has posted her bail, and therefore she and her crew will be Assisted's new spy masters, a sort of anti-Crimson Dawn, or a Suicide Squad.
What are we, some kind of suicide squad?
What are we, some kind of Suicide Squad? He then told her exactly what happened in Korhal. Recently, someone copied and tampered with an incredibly powerful and deadly spell scroll of Barlow's own design. The spell is one meant to capture or subdue unwanted thieves or wrongdoers. However, while Barlow's version was painful, it was only meant to be temporary. Whoever attacked Korhal had modified it so that it was not only permanent, but also transferring like a disease. Clickwhistle immediately thought of Kalenth as a possible suspect, but had nothing concrete at the moment. As they spoke, Barlow noticed Name was perched on the wagon, and blasted her back to her elf self, all while sighing that he supposed that this is what he should have expected with this group. Clickwhistle accepted her new charge and sincerely apologized. Barlow, stressing that they keep business hours from now on, accepted and took his leave. In order to clandestinely get Clickwhistle back into the city, Name was polymorphed her into the female version of Philip, complete with a tiny ponytail and bow. I'm already laughing about this. Once reunited, Name stated that she had lost Clickwhistle but had found Philip's twin, Lilip, along the way.
This is going to sound weird to ask, but am I drunk?
No.
That was a mistake. Oh, I know where I know it from.
I got the voice, I get it.
From a traveling show, Benny Hill?
Yeah. I used to get that channel in the monastery.
Yeah, they used to just come by from now. Wow, all the way to the waist.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Oh, Philip, are you okay?
Philip, I want you to know something. I may have lost Clickwhistle, but I found you to win.
The dudes returned home, with Lilip turning back into Clickwhistle to share the news. She shared her encounter with Barlow, the new deal, the spell, and the plague of Korhal. The group then discussed their schedule for the next few days, deciding that the best way to get to far-flung Korhal, and by extension Bovasia, was to fly by giant owls, leading Liam to begin building some owl saddles. Before that, though, they would attend the Fraterfleur celebration and do some odd jobs in order to earn some money for preparations. So, how will our heroes fare in these new jobs? Will the plague of Korhal spread even further? Well, you're gonna have to find out this week on The Natural Ones.